All right, great to have Hans von Spakovsky back on the radio with us this morning, Advancing American Freedom Senior Legal Fellow these days. And Hans, how are you?
Mark, I'm doing just great.
I'm glad to hear that, my friend. I saw the president has been pretty active on Truth Social the last 24 hours, and as he usually is. And one of the things that he was putting out on there was celebrating the fact that an appeals court said that they have to reconsider blocking construction on the White House ballroom, and they have to weigh national security concerns first.
Well, yeah, and it really that whole case just gets me, because I'm like going, who thinks they actually have standing in D.C. to contest what's being built on the White House grounds? I mean, I don't think that the people who brought this lawsuit even should be in court. I think the courts actually should have thrown it out to begin with, because they can't really prove that they have any standing to do it. But like I said, at the very least, yeah, they ought to reconsider it, given that the construction already started, and in fact, that part of the White House is no more.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought as I looked at it. I know that they said the parts that dealt with national security could move forward, because I understand they're building something underneath it. I don't know if it's a bunker or whatever it is. And then they're going to build the ballroom on top of it. And I'm thinking to myself, at the end of the day, and as I said earlier, heaven forbid we have a President Newsom. You don't think he's going to use that? I mean, he may change the name from the MAGA ballroom, but he's sure going to use the new ballroom.
Well, yeah, he is. Listen, if you actually talk to Washington insiders of both political parties, look, the Democrats will all tell you very quietly, they don't want it to be publicly quoted on it, that the White House has needed this for a long time. The state dinners they have, the White House room for those, they're not big enough, and they constantly have to put out big tents, and people eat outside under the tents on the White House grounds, because they just don't have room for all the people coming in, and this has been needed for a long time. But they can't say that publicly, because that would give too much credit to Donald Trump.
But welcome, Prime Minister. Here's your picnic bench that you can sit on while you eat your filet mignon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's basically it.
Hans, we have quite a few of these big cases we're waiting to be ruled on with the Supreme Court, and we've got what? It normally ends in, is it late June or early July? And I know that seems far out now, but gosh, we know how fast time flies.
Yeah, no, it's coming up. Now, this is a quiet week at the court. They just have a conference to talk about cases. There's no opinions expected to be released. And actually, they still have oral arguments scheduled starting next week. And in fact, a really, really important case in 2 weeks at the end of April that they literally just scheduled at the end of March. It's the big case involving the president trying to end temporary protected status for Syrians and all these other groups of aliens who have been granted TPS over the years. And they only got that case in March. They immediately scheduled hearings for the end of this month. So they are handling it on a very rapid basis. But that's coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, do we have a decision day? Do we know when the next decision day is?
Yeah, it's going to be in next week, I think, is a decision day. Although, listen, they did on their emergency docket issue a decision last week refusing to stop Ohio from removing a guy named Sam Ronan. I don't know if you saw this. Sam Ronan ran to be the head of the DNC a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And he advocated a strategy of Democrats running as Republicans to deceive the public. And so he got himself onto the ballot in Ohio in the 15th congressional district to run against the incumbent Republican there, a guy named Mike Carey.
Yeah.
And a voter complained.
Wow.
Said he's not a Republican, and the courts took him off. he appealed the Supreme Court. Supreme Court refused to put him back on the ballot.
Wow, we're having a little breakup on your phone line there for some reason, Hans. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on. I did want to ask. I saw, and I'm gonna couch this by saying it was in Slate magazine. So I'm just going to say that up front. But Slate magazine's reporting that Sonia Sotomayor took a stab at Brett Kavanaugh in one of his decisions on immigration while speaking publicly, and that this generally is just something that these justices have not done publicly very often.
Yeah, I think it's a sign of the breakdown in collegiality at the court. And who's it coming from? It's coming from the liberal justices. And I think that's frankly a bad sign, and I hope she gets a scolding internally from the Chief Justice about that.
Yeah, let's hope Justice Roberts says something. She was speaking at an event and took a stab at Kavanaugh for part of his decision that he wrote regarding racial profiling when it comes to immigration enforcement.
Yeah, and it was I actually think it's shameful that she did that publicly like that. And she was ascribing motives and motivation to him that she had no basis for, no evidence of, and no reason to be saying that.
Wow. Well, Hans, have yourself a great week, my friend. We always appreciate